With us today, we got Joe, Trigger Joe Britson.
All right, let's go.
Boom! To try to get a matchup with a gunner. Oh, goes the lead. Francis is gunner.
Well, this is just a fist. When I start throwing it around, I can leave one hell of a mess. Let's dance.
Multiple occasions. Wow, it looks like they're going to swing to the very end.
And he wasn't kidding. Wow! It's very rare. What a finish!
Another one.
It really poses the question, what do you want to do? Do you want to take a chance and risk getting knocked out? Oh my God!
Oh my God.
Trying to take care of business, trying to get to goal.
It's a knockout!
Oh my
It's a knockout!
And it's closing in, trying to finish it, and it's over!
Because I'm going to take this foot and I'm going to whop you on that side of your face. There's nothing goddamn thing you can do about it.
Buck is brought to you by Modelo.
I killed it!
Punch me right in the face, man.
And we have a new nickname. Okay, we have William Send It 7 Piercing. All right, other than that, we used to call him Willie Pete. We used to call him the Mad Russian.
For his opponent to be quicker on the catch.
Now you're gonna get it, Bobby!
I think you've had enough. No? Now you've had enough. Bitch.
Wow, how good is this?
Finish him! Get him a body bag! Yeah!
Another one.
Everybody gets triggered. It's just if you become a pansy. That's in the Book of Earl.
I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
You called down the thunder, well now you got it.
Gotta be very careful.
This is the Veteran Trash Talk Sports Betting Show with your hosts, Trigger Joe, Send It 7 Pearson, and the Big Earl. UFC, NFL, if it's on, we're betting on it.
Today's show is brought to you by the Farkas Group at the Veterans Mortgage Source. Are you looking for a team you can trust for your mortgage needs? The Farkas Group is our trusted partner on the podcast. I serve with Zach, and he will definitely give you the best rate possible. Their goal is to educate veterans across the country on their earned VA home loan benefit. If you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, reach out to these guys for competitive rates or any information you may need on obtaining a VA mortgage for your property. They are licensed in multiple states. If they are not licensed in the state that you live in, they will still give you the advice that you need and the rates you should be looking for. Veteran Trash Talk. All right, we are here. We're not doing Friday nights anymore because old Bill Send It 7, Sergeant Major, the Mad Russian, whatever you want to call him.
Command of the universe.
Command of the universe.
It takes us time.
Right. He's out there in Washington, so Friday nights are very tough for him especially for the East Coast crowd, because they have to stay up till 11 to watch us. And most of our audience is pretty drunk by then. So let's just
kind of like playing in Wisconsin at night or playing in Wisconsin during the day. Totally different crowd.
Exactly. Totally different crowd, totally different picks. Actually, probably make more money because our picks might actually make more sense. But hey, we got with us again, we got Trigger Joe. All right, we got Bill Send It 7 Pearson. Go on their Facebook pages. All right, Trigger Joe. Joe never goes on Facebook, so like, but you can still like his page.
I'm
Send
there
It 7.
a bit.
Yeah, Send It 7. He did not put VTT Send It 7, so you just got to look it up. I tag it most of the time, so look at the Big Earl's page, and you'll see Bill's page as well. So follow them. Bill actually posts his picks, so he can either brag or say, "Yeah, I lost," and he actually puts his money where his mouth is. And when you're betting, remember, we're betting too, so we're not giving you the BS. And that's what we're doing here. All right, UFC picks, NFL picks, and if you don't have money to gamble, don't gamble. It's that simple. All right. And then they're going to give you their locks. They're going to give you their parlays. All right. The DraftKings sleeper. And remember, the parlays, like last week for us, usually freaking lose. All right. We got hammered on a couple of fights. I'm sure these guys will talk about. So let's get started. Well, actually, let me talk about the sponsors because they pay us. All right. So we got 10th Mountain Bourbon behind me. All right. Go on their site, 10thmountainspirits.com. All right, and go ahead and order and put the code VTT, and you'll get yourself a discount on some good bourbon, good rye, all that kind of vodka stuff. And then we got the Veterans Mortgage Source. All right, so get on there, get on our website, veterantrashtalk.com, and check out Zach Farkas for your VA loans. And I think the retired SEAC's watching. He's part of a mortgage company too. So
eTool Nation.
eTool Nation, go there, check it out. They're sponsored by, I think, the Veterans Lending Group or something. So go check them out. Like I said, we don't care what veteran organization you are. We just hope you're successful. So we promote anybody, anytime, and we hope that works for you. And of course, last but not least, we got Gruntworks. All right, they are offering a discount during the show as well. So go to gruntworksclothing.com and put in the code VTTGW. That code also works on our store. So go ahead and get it in there. Oh, Andy Lind is watching. All right, he's a dentist. All right, go to work. All right, there's kids' teeth. It's the weekend. All right, they need to get fixed. Anyways, let's get down to it.
If somebody drops dead and Andy's in the room, you should call 911. He's a dentist.
Exactly. Aren't you a doctor? Yeah, philosophy. This man's dying. Did he ever live though? All right. That's the way it is. Let's get to the first fight now. Unless, do we want to chat about last week at all? Anybody got anything about last week?
Last week was murderous. Ben Rothwell.
Ben Rothwell really screwed 4 of my parlays.
And here's another thing. That dude put me on notice, man, because he absolutely fucking obliterated Ben Rothwell. Ben Rothwell looked like a giant 265-pound cooked fettuccine noodle. He was just getting busted up. Now the stoppage sucked, but he was getting beat bad. But yeah, that was honestly, that one was it. Bill, there was another one that burned us that we picked. We went 4 out of 6 on the main card, and I can't remember what the other one was.
Yeah, it was another heavy favorite lost.
I know I did bet Alvarez by KO over Moises on plus 350 bet and hit that one. That saved our bacon.
So, but all right. Again, remember, hey, Vegas
but not our best card.
Yeah, Vegas has big buildings for a reason.
We were due one.
Yeah, you gotta lose once in a while. I've been on almost a 2.5 week just destruction of NFL picks, but we'll get into that later with the Big Earl locks.
The NFL is stupid this year.
Yeah, the first fight, we got a bantamweight fight, a female one, and you got Grant at 13-5.
Not female.
It's not female? These are guys.
No.
Oh, the females, the next.
These are men.
Yeah. Okay, so same thing. Well, they're bantamweights. They're females. So it's 13-5. And then you got Yanez. I think I've seen Yanez fight before. 14-3. And then, his first name is Adrian. So I think that's Adrian. And then when she wakes up and is like, win. Right. So Adrian's going to win. All right. Anybody named Adrian's going to win. And remember, when the Big Earl picks fights, don't listen to me. All right, unless you want to make a lot of money, or unless I'm just lucky enough to pick the favorites, because I don't really look at who's who. I pick off their name and their jawline and anything else that I could find a reason for them to lose or win. So I got Adrian by name only, and it's going to be first round KO. Let's go with the champ, Bill Send It 7 Pearson. Welcome to the show. Who do you got?
Actually, that's not A bad pick, Nick. I got Yanez, but I'm going to go with a third round KO. Davey Grant's just tough. I think he'll last that long. It might end up being a decision, but it's going to be Yanez for sure. 5 of his last 6 fights have ended with KO. The last 2 happened in the third round, which is why I'm going with the third round on that one. Davey Grant, he's not great. He's never going to be a title contender, but he's tough and he earns a paycheck. So I got Yanez KO third round.
Very nice. Very nice. Hey, and before we turn it over to Joe for his opinion on this, remember Gruntworks, veteran trash talk. Hey, make some comments. All right. Who do you got in these fights? And then, if you ever want to come on and challenge these guys, it's always welcome. And then when we get to the NFL show, get out there and talk about it. Maybe you got some opinions that help some other people out. So Joe, who do you got in this fight?
Yep. We're all 3 in agreement. Bill, who did you pick third round TKO? Yeah. I had a very tough time making my mind up on this one because of Davey Grant's toughness. Here's the reason that he's an anomaly kind of as a fighter. He's 13-5. He's got only 3 knockouts in his 13 wins. He's never been KO'd, but he's been sub 4 times. So it's like, you think a guy that's been sub 4 times is really good on the feet. Not so much. I mean, Davey Grant is a tough dude, but he's, I believe Adrian Yanez is the new era of fighters coming in here. He's, Grant throws a lot of looping bombs, and Yanez is a phenomenal counterpuncher. Like Israel Adesanya said, we don't pray and shoot. I aim and fire. And Yanez is very, very slick with his striking. He looked like shit in the last fight until he did. And then came out and won it. So don't be surprised if this one gets fight of the night. I'm actually picking it to be fight of the night. And I think Yanez is going to have to throw the kitchen sink at Grant to slow him down. But I think he does. I think he wins the striking game. And I think Grant pulls through and goes the distance. So I got Adrian Yanez by decision. And that's simply because Davey Grant does have the ability to lay and pray, and Yanez doesn't have the greatest takedown defense. So could see him stealing around, but on the feet, it's Yanez's fight to lose. I got Yanez money line by decision. And if you want to if you want to bump the odds up a little bit, he goes from 310 to 210 if you pick him by decision or KO. And that depends on the bookie you're using. But so Yanez by decision, but would not be surprised to see a finish here.
Yeah, so I stopped listening to you about halfway through that. No big deal. I'm sure the bettors did, but because I'm dealing with Juan Garcia on the chat, the Stone Bet is on the chat. All right, so,
I took a back seat for that.
Yeah, make sure. Well,
that's strike one, Nick.
You just got to deal with that stuff sometimes.
Strike one.
You got to hit the fly when it's on the table.
I'm really fucking happy that I'm picking the next fight first too, Bill. I hate this one.
Yeah, and then but so Juan, we love you, and go check out his show and check out his page, which is the Stone Bet USMC. All right, we share him on all the platforms as well. He's got a great show, great podcast, and but he introduced us to a guy named George. So not sure where George is. George, you still haven't come through on your bet. All right, that's through the Veterans Syndicate Radio. So if you do by chance follow Veterans Syndicate Radio, which go ahead and do that, make sure you comment on there. Don't you owe those boys over at VTT some props? So because he's been disappeared ever since that. And then Sergio says hi. What's up, Sergio?
Hey, Nick, I got a good one real quick for you before you get into this next fight. I was rewatching our show with George, and you're doing your thing where you're, kind of talking about what we do and everything else. And you get to the end, you're like, George, like that. Well, I had my Georgie on my lap, and Nick goes, George. And he goes, ah! Like that, and throws his hands out. And nice. Lily looks over at me and she's like, did he just react to that? Because that wasn't your voice. And I said, no, it wasn't. So I played it again, and he goes, ah! And starts clapping. I was like, holy shit, this is hilarious. So he gets the kick out of you yelling, George.
Yeah, we're calling George out because he owes us money, Juan. All right, he owes us money. Pay up. Yep. All right, I'm gonna send Moose and Rocco over to your house.
He knows the collecting game.
Yeah,
he's been
now we got we'll go to the next fight. Now it's a women's fight, flyweight fight, so they're just as tough as the bantamweights. And you got Calderwood at 15-6, and then you got Santos at 18-1. Now, this is actually a pretty easy one to pick if you're using the Book of Earl logic, right? You just got to go with Santos because this other woman it looks like the stereotypical Karen. But and
she's actually like the biggest sweetheart in the UFC.
Right.
Seriously.
All Karens are sweethearts until you step on their flowers, okay? Or the homeowners association weeds got a little bit too long, right? And somebody's got to report it. Somebody's got to take care of it. Yeah. Am I on the wrong fight?
He might have the women's flyweight ahead of Ronnie Yaya and Kang, but it's the next fight in order.
Okay, Yaya and Kang. Okay, so we'll switch to that one. But we'll get into the women's one another. But yeah, I went off the ESPN.
Damn it, I was hoping Bill picked this one first.
So we're going to the bantamweight. That's what they got up on the screen. You got Kang, all right, and then you got Yaya at 27-10. Kang's at 17-8. And I went really easy with this one. I'm going second round lightning bolt from Liu Kang. All right, so I don't know how it's going to happen, but the guy's name is Kang. All right, and he's
if he does the cheat code and gets the sonic boom from Guile from Street Fighter, it's over by murder. Sonic boom.
Yep, just get it over with. So, Joe, what do you say on the Kang Yaya fight?
Flip a coin and pick it. I don't like this fight for several reasons. Kang is hasn't really been active. He hasn't fought in almost 2 years. He's a decision sub guy. Ronnie Yaya is a decision sub guy. Ronnie Yaya's got 38 professional fights and this many knockouts. 0. He's been KO'd twice, but he's got 21 submissions. He's fought everybody. He's the old guy. And I just don't see, it's a weird matchup because you usually have the old guy. It's like, okay, what's your appeal here? Like Fiziev against Bobby Green. You put the veteran in there, he's going to bang. And Kang's not really like some up and comer. To me, he's very vanilla. He does have 3 inches of reach. He is built like a brick shit house. But I'm going to take Ronnie Yaya here by sub. And I think Kang gasses. He's got a gas tank issue. And I'm going to take Yaya by sub in the third.
Yeah, well,
I'm not betting this fight.
I don't know how good you can submission somebody after getting hit by a lightning bolt, Joe, but I guess we'll go with you. All right, Bill, what do you say?
Again, I would stay away from this fight too.
Don't bet it.
I hate it.
You want to lean towards Kang because he's got the 6-inch reach advantage. But the problem is he's not a striker. So both these dudes are going to want to go to the ground so that that erases that reach advantage. I'm going with Yaya only because he's more experienced. And like Joe said, Kang hasn't fought in 2 years almost.
Yeah.
I would not put this on any of my parlays. I would not bet this in any way whatsoever. Both these guys are middle-of-the-road fighters who kind of suck, and they just needed to throw them on a fight night. I actually would have took 2 of the fights off the undercard and put that on the this main card. But
absolutely,
I don't build these, so what the hell? Going with Yaya just for the name and the experience. Do not touch this fight in any of your parlays.
Bill, that's another one about this fight is everyone's going to be like, well, Yaya's an old man. Well, Kang's almost 35 and Yaya's 37. So that's out the window. Yeah, I like Yaya's experience here. 21 subs out of 27 wins. He's a sniper on the ground. So I'm going to take what do you got? You got him sub, Bill?
I got Yaya. Most likely, just like you said, I think Kang's going to gas. And he might, give him his back and just end the fight early. But yeah, I don't like this fight in any way whatsoever for putting money on it.
All right, so there you have that. What's the next fight? We going to the women flyweight now? Is that the next one?
Yep.
All right, so I'll wait till I see it on the screen here. But yeah, I already explained this one as an easy pick via just looking at names and people, but and judging solely by the cover of the book. So by that method, I would take Santos, but this is why I'm not. All right. This is where the big girl comes in with his analysis. And Calder would because of her Karen-esque upbringing. And again, Karens are a necessity in the world. People don't understand that. You make fun of them, but they're the ones that actually read the rules. All right. They actually know what you're supposed to do. All right. They know that you're not supposed to be in the line picking up your kid at school for more than 5 minutes. You go back around. All right. So like they know all this stuff. So it's going to be in between the second and third round. All right. It's going to be a disqualification. Okay. Because Karen is going to mention something to the judge. All right. Calderwood is. And the judge is like, oh, that's a rule. And then she's going to win. So it's going to be a DQ by a rule drop by Karen Calderwood. What are you
telling me you're going to let her get away with that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Any man that's been on the end of that, Karen, knows. Shut it down. Shut it. Get it to make it stop.
He's breaking the law. So what do you say, Bill?
I will shoot him. So you stop talking. No, go ahead.
Easy one, Santos. It'll be a decision. Santos had a lot of KOs coming up in her career, but none of them have been in the UFC. Neither one of these girls had that big power that's going to end a fight early. There's a girl in the prelims I'll talk about in my locks that does, but Santos doesn't have it. It'll be a long, boring fight. One thing about Wood too is every time she starts to go up and fights any of that mid to upper level competition, she loses. She just doesn't have that thing that's going to get her to that next level. Santos might. She's been slowly working her way up to that top 10, top 15. So I'm going to go with Santos' decision. It'll probably be a relatively boring fight. I like
Start the grill.
She's actually one of the nicer ones. She's the Scottish one. She's fun to talk to in interviews. But she just doesn't have that thing that fighters need to be a real contender, and Santos does. So it'll be Santos by decision.
All right, Joe. Well, actually, we got Juan Garcia still chirping up there. Juan, until you produce George, we don't care. Okay, produce George, and then maybe your opinion of Veteran Syndicate Radio will be valid. But then there's another guy on the chat, Sergio Agudelo. Hey, I don't know what's up, bro. If you're dealing with problems, go to our group page. All right, go to VTT official.
What's the matter? What's going on?
He's just saying that he's lost. So go to our group page, get on there, say hi, and then a lot of people will, that's the whole point of starting this community. Right now we're doing the show, and we will make sure you guys, hey, if you're on the chat thread, we'll look at Sergio and give him a text. Juan said he already texted him, but that's what we do here. If you come on Saturdays and I've got a problem and you want to interrupt our show, go for it. All right. So absolutely okay. Yeah, Joe, it looks like Juan texted him, but who are you going to this fight? Did you already pick that Calderwood fight? Oh, the siren. Oh, did you just figure that out on your phone? What is that? A Galaxy?
Yeah, it took me like a month, but
a Galaxy 5S from 1997, the first one.
It's a free. I like that model. I'm more comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Nope, exactly what Bill had. I think Calderwood is tough enough. She's never been KO'd, so I don't think Santos is gonna add her to her KO list. But Santos has 10 knockouts for a female fighter to have 10 knockouts. That's some power. She's never been finished, never been subbed, never been KO'd. Joanne Calderwood has never been KO'd. So I think if you want to church this one up on the odds, also Santos is a 2.5-inch reach advantage, and she strikes like a beast. So I'm going to go ahead and say Santos decision. And if you want to church these ones up a little bit, she's a minus 340. I think it's minus 200 to go the distance. It's also I think it's like minus 170 for her to win by TKO or points. So, you might have to do that to get some odds up on your parlay, but I got Santos by decision and a pretty convincing one.
Very nice. Very nice. And now we go to the co-main. Am I correct on that one with the fight order? You got a welterweight fight, and you got give me the cheese at 18-5 versus old Tom Brady at 14-0. Shocking that a guy named Brady is undefeated. All right. Now, here's
he cheated.
Yeah, exactly. Here's how Brady's going to win this fight. Okay, and it's going to be in the first round, and it's going to be a deflated ball sack strike. So he will strike and deflate Cheese's ball sack, and therefore he will. I mean, you can't continue when your ball's deflated like that. Brady likes to deflate balls, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Joe, you got to agree with me on that one.
Yeah, but I think when they asked Aaron Rodgers, he said, "I've never thrown a football that I didn't manipulate."
Right.
It's like everybody does that shit. No,
Yeah.
but I tell you what, man.
Well, I got to cut you off.
That being said, Aaron Rodgers has jumped up so many fucking cool points in my book with what he did. I honestly was starting to drink the Kool-Aid of him being the NorCal pansy.
Yeah,
and
he shocked
everything
all of
else
us,
because
yeah.
I listened to you a lot. And then when he did that, I read an article about him a long time ago, and I was like, this dude's a little bit different, man. There's something about him. It's not a game. He's actually kind of a deep thinker. And I loved what he did. So, oh man, this is a fight, and I'm not gonna lie, I will bet it both ways. Brady's super fast. He's super strong. He slams people. He's really athletic. But 14 wins. He's only got 3 KOs. All right, so he looks like he'll rip your head off, but he doesn't. He's not a huge striker. He's got 4 subs, so he's got half his fights he's finished. Chiesa has been TKO'd once, but he's a monstrous welterweight, very big. He's got 3.5 inches of reach here. He's fought. He got tapped by Vicente Luque, which is basically saying you got beat by Khabib. Luque is a sniper on the ground. But before that, he beat Neil Magny, Rafael dos Anjos, Diego Sanchez, which, after the Fabia thing, I don't know how much credit I give that, and Carlos Condit. He's beat Beneil Dariush, which is a win that has aged very well with where Dariush is at in his career. He's sub Jim Miller, which is a very hard thing to do. So it's like, which Chiesa is going to show up? If the best version of him shows up, I think he beats Brady. But if he comes out like he did against Luque, Brady's going to bully him. Man, this is a tough one. I'm going to go ahead and say Chiesa submission 3rd round. And this one is it's a tough one because I'm going against an undefeated fighter. But I'm going to go ahead and say Brady. Chiesa gets it. Chiesa knows he's in his 30s. He just lost to Luque. That's not a bad loss, but if he loses this one, he's going to be on the fucking undercard.
I've only told you to bet against Brady twice and this year, and both times I was right. Okay, so I don't know. Brady's going to win this one. Oh, different sport.
Exactly. Yeah, I got Chiesa 3rd round sub.
All right,
in a very, very close one.
Bill, what say you?
I'm going to go with the Brady 2nd round sub.
There you go. Short and to the point. So, all right.
I'm tired of Chiesa burning me.
This is an emotional bet. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it is. He's burned me twice. He's killed 2 of my parlays, and
he's a bit of a dick.
And then the last one, getting choked out in the first 42 seconds, pissed me off. So I think Brady's on his way up. Like I said, he's not a big power striker. Neither is Chiesa. This is going to be.
He just doesn't light me up, man. Like Brady, he's good at stuff. He looks great. He looks the part, but he's there's that one thing like him to blow through people. This skill set, he doesn't quite. Maybe he will have it, but I think Chiesa has fought. Obviously, he's fought the better competition.
And that's what I think Chiesa is. I think Chiesa is Brady's test to see if he can start being fed these top 12 guys.
Are we putting a point on this one?
Fuck it, why not?
Oh, do it.
Yeah, let's
Send
do
it. All right, perfect. So we got a point on this fight. Those of you who are new to watching this show, appreciate you coming on. But we pick UFC and NFL fights. We used to do it Friday nights, but now we do it Saturdays because old Big Bill got a promotion, so we got to adjust to his schedule, and which is fine. And they used to have a bet going on of they'd pick the round, the fighter, and how it was going to end, and it could be a 3-point fight. So I think Bill's up by 3 still, right? So or did it get knocked down to 2? So I think it's still 3.
He's up 3. No, he got knocked down to 2, and then he got one on me the last time.
Okay, gotcha. So all right, let's go to the main event, and we have a bantamweight female fight with Vieira at 11-2, and is it Misha Tate?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
Cupcake.
19-7. Now the Big Earl has thought about this one, and you're not. It's not going to end pretty. All right, it's not going to. It's not going to be what UFC wants to see. It's not going to be good for their name, but this fight's going to end in a draw. And Misha has the name and look of, that girl in the 90s that drove a Mitsubishi Eclipse. So
are you thinking about the backwards hat picture?
Right. Yeah.
At the weigh-ins?
So
yeah, she looked like she's in the 90s.
So Misha Tate is going to get mad about this draw, have a temper tantrum, and actually hit Vieira with her Mitsubishi Eclipse in the parking lot. That's what's going to happen. So, Bill, what say you, the champ?
Okay, so this will be an interesting fight. Vera has a chance to beat her. I don't think she's going to. I think Misha's going to take this one to a decision. Misha's got 7 losses, but those 7 losses are to the who's who of that division.
Nunez, Rousey.
Yeah, I mean, she's not going to win the belt. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think Misha's going to win this one by decision. She'll get fed either Aldana or Holly Holm, and whoever wins that fight, it will be put into a line.
Wouldn't you love to see that fucking rematch of her and Holly Holm? I bet you Holly Holm would take it in a minute.
Yeah, and I think Holly Holm wrecks her world. But either way, whoever wins the fight after this fights Amanda, they'll get decimated in the first minute and a half. And that'll be the fight on our parlay. That's a minus 1,600.
Yeah, Amanda's going to have to just get old, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's all it is. Here's the thing with Vieira. She's really bad at fighters who know how to jab, hook, and sidestep. She's really bad at strikers who are patient. So that's why Kunitskaya ripped her apart. I can't remember. I think Pena picked her apart. She's just really bad at people who are patient and just jab the shit out of her. And I think that's what Misha's going to do. There'll be a couple takedowns where Vieira wants to go. Misha's good enough to either sub her or get back up. And I think Misha's been fighting long enough and has good enough training camp where she knows to just stay back, pick her apart for 3 rounds, and get the W and go home. But again, I think after this, Tate gets either Holm or Aldana. Winner of that gets Amanda, and Amanda destroys them. So we'll go Misha Tate decision. Very long, boring fight.
There you have it. Yeah. Well, Mike Sullivan, go to veterantrashtalk.com. All right. And go or email the Big Earl at veterantrashtalk.com. My email address is on the website. So go to veterantrashtalk.com and go ahead and send me a message. Oh, and we'll bring you on. And you're a Sullivan, so you're probably an Irish gangster from Boston. We're not scared of you. All right. Like I said, the Big Earl stereotype.
He's already drunk and been into 3 fights, and it's only 7 o'clock where he's at.
It's only 7 o'clock, huh? So, but yeah, we'll
he eats bangers and mash for breakfast.
We're already starting to trash talk at Sullivan. That's what happens when you come under the gauntlet, into the dumpster fire that it is Veteran Trash Talk. But we will gladly bring you on to challenge the experts and go after that $100 of this guy's money, which George lost. George, where are you? All right, so I'm not quite sure where he went, but so we got
like that Blair Witch Project. Where are you, George?
Yeah. So so Bill has picked Misha Tate, not by Mitsubishi Eclipse, but just by decision. So Trigger Joe, what say you? Oh, there's their siren. There's your Galaxy S4.
Either 2011 or we agree on things.
Yeah,
get that joke. You know me. Anyways, yeah. I got Misha. I wouldn't be surprised to see Misha ground and pound her out late. I think Vieira is going to really get a taste of what a championship caliber fighter is. And anybody that can stand on the feet with Holly Holm for 4 rounds and 4 minutes and then win by sub is tough enough to beat Vieira. Sorry, that's no disrespect, but Holly Holm was winning that fight. Misha Tate knew I have to sub her. And in one of the greatest comebacks and the greatest fights of all time in the women's that never gets talked about, Misha choked Holly out late in the 4th or 5th, right, Bill? It was late in the 5th, right? I know it was the 5th, but it was okay. So Misha's tough. She's very smart. She knows this is probably her last run at a title shot. So she's not, I don't think you're going to see Misha going in there and phoning any fights in because of where she's at in her career.
It was 3:30 in the 5th.
There you go. So she's got the gas tank. That proves it right there. I think that she is very smart, fights a smart fight against Vieira, gets her takedowns when she wants them, and is a lot of movement on the feet. And I think Vieira is just going to get frustrated, probably gas out, do something stupid. And I see Misha winning by decision, but I'm going to parlay it with a TKO by decision.
Oh, so there you go.
TKO or decision.
And I just noticed that Justin Lacey came on the thread to watch. He has broken his Facebook vow of getting back on, and because he just doesn't like all the politics on Facebook, but he is here obviously to scout out my picks for the NFL, because he is traditionally just holds my pocket the entire weekend. But pocket. So we'll let Joe go with his parlays, his locks, and his DraftKings sleeper first, because he can't beat Bill at anything. So we're not going to give him the last word. So Joe, what do we got?
It's funny. He's funny guy. Yeah. Like the way I talk, when I amuse you. So Bill's probably going to repeat this one, but Pinheiro, first fight of the night, Pinheiro is a lock. She is a lock in this fight.
He's going to decimate that girl.
Yeah. I also got Misha as a lock. I just don't see Misha losing. So in my parlay, and I have to go through, I'm doing the first ever 3-fight all-female parlay. I got Loma Lookboonmee to win as an underdog over Godinez. I think Godinez is highly overrated. She hasn't fought anybody like Lookboonmee has. Lookboonmee is a serious grappler. She can strike. And I got her. She's actually a plus 140. So she's going to be my upset pick, my DraftKings value. Also, I like Chiesa as a DraftKings value. And if you have to, because that fight's so close, throw Davy Grant in there. I don't think he gets finished by Yanez. I think they go quite a while, and Davy Grant's going to make it a fight. So there are my values. That's my 3-fight female parlay with Pinheiro, Lookboonmee, and Tate. But I also will take Pinheiro, Tate. Hang on, where we at? Santos. Actually, it's a 4-fight female parlay, Bill. So I got Pinheiro, Santos.
Get your shit together, Joe.
Tate and Lookboonmee. And Santos is another strong, almost lock, but not quite. So literally, that's it. It's a 4-fight female parlay. And that's what I got.
Joe's going all chicks.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
there's a lot of good underdog value on the prelims though, with McKinney, Levy, and Lutz. Those are 3 underdogs that I would say are strong plays. Very rarely do we see that where there's guys that are there's like 4 or 5 underdogs that have a chance. So that's what I got.
All right. And then did you say your DraftKings sleeper? You might have.
Yeah. Loma Lookboonmee.
Okay. All right.
Or Davy Grant.
Yeah. Now let's go to the champ. Let's go to the guy who knows what he's talking about. Bill, what are your parlays, your DraftKings sleeper, and your locks?
Joe and I are actually pretty close on this one. First of all, Pinheiro, take her to win. Her last 7 fights have all ended in the first round. Dude, she is an absolute monster. Although her last fight, she actually lost with me an illegal upkick, but whatever, we'll call it a win. So Pinheiro is a lock. Santos, also another one of my female locks. I'm going to give you 2 parlays to go with. Pinheiro, Santos, Tate, Yanez is your safe parlay. And then the a little bit more dangerous parlay with my DraftKings sleeper, which is also Lookboonmee, Joe, is also my DraftKings sleeper. So go with Pinheiro, Santos, Tate, Lookboonmee, and I'm going to go with Yanez. And if you want to get a little bit more ballsy, throw in Sabatini off the prelims. I think he'll win that fight. Just know with this fight night, there's actually
if you throw in Sabatini though, pick him by sub because that's what he does, and he's a really dangerous sub guy, and it'll bump your odds up.
There's a lot of dead even fights minus 15. So if the parlay hits, you got a chance to win some good cash on this one. But if you want the safe one, take Tate, Santos, Pinheiro, throw in Yanez in on that one. But the locks are all females. DraftKings sleepers, the Luke Bumi girl. I'm with Joe on this one. Loopy is one of the most overrated fighters in the UFC. She is a dumpster fire. Those are my safe and a little bit more riskier parlay and my locks. But for sure, Joe, if you go, or Nick, if you go on sharedog.com and look at Pinero's profile pic, I'm sure you'll love it and prefer her to be on a main card one day. So
Yeah.
Looks like a modeling shoot.
Yeah.
She nice. She, as the water boy would say, she nice to talk to.
As long as she drives a Mitsubishi Eclipse. So hopefully we get sponsored by Mitsubishi Eclipse here pretty soon. Pretty sure it's coming. But
this is Detroit, baby. We don't sell that shit up here.
Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna take a little bit of a break here, and then we're gonna switch to the Big Earl's NFL locks. So again, big shout out. Hey, you still got time for your holiday shopping to get your favorite veteran a 10th Mountain bourbon bottle. All right, use the code VTT. Go to their website. Remember, use the code VTT, and you'll get a discount. And then go on to stores during this break. All right, go on gruntworksclothing.com or Gruntworks Coffee and veterantrashtalk.com and put in the code VTTGW during the show and get yourself a discount. But we're going to take a 2-minute break, and then we're going to go over the NFL. We'll see you in a little bit.
Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, E-double-L. I said so, I keep big bills up in my hood on the dirty like Bledsoe. Ain't got no twist in my head, but I'm still dreadful. And I got plenty of bread, so I go to bed full. I'm in it to win it, I'm all in. I might call you my cuz, young blood, but we ain't kin. You think of jumping, man, you best think again. The dirty, I'm the type of man that might go broke for revenge. Had some not so nice friends, kick the door off the hinge. Take the door off your bins, pop up my four of your friends, man, please. This shit ain't cynical, man, no subliminal. I'm physical, financial, and mental to be a general. Hey, the mama claims she want a soldier. Not the type be in the tank, but in that rover. Man, please, I'm in the zone like AIDS full blown. I'm killing it like a blind man reading. I'm feeling it like, oh, yeah. Here comes the, oh, here comes the, oh, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, oh, here comes the, oh, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, oh, here comes the, oh, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, oh, here comes the, oh, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like, he think he got her when he know he's off his butter. He ain't never been a fighter. You can go and ask his mother. I'm a lover and a fighter, producer and a writer. Give your girl a quick fix and give your man a nice shiner. You know y'all don't really want it, and I can tell just by looking at you that you the type to run and go and tell just by looking at you. You on a mission for recognition by this.
In Atlanta.
Yeah, all right, we are back live. All right, for the Big Earl's NFL picks and his locks. Now, again, I went 2 for 3 last week on the locks, so that brought me back up to a +5. And I also hit one upset, and I'm going to brag about it. All right, I'm going to brag, and if I have to buy drinks for bragging, that's fine. But I warned you about that New England game. I was like, Washington has the kind of defense that makes Tom Brady very upset. All right. And when you don't have to be a good team to beat Tom Brady. All right. You just have to pressure him. All right. Once you pressure him, he folds like a little baby because he's from Michigan. Right. He can't handle anything, any stress whatsoever.
From California.
No, he's from Michigan. So he spent most of his adult life there. 18 to 22. He's from Michigan, but yeah, I called that. But now Washington is in trouble. And then poor Kevin Travers. I haven't seen him watching today yet, but
they're the fighting Cam Newtons again.
Yeah,
everything's all right.
Poor Kevin Travers. One, he put a lot of money down and he picked against the Panthers. Right. And I said, Kevin, what you got to pay attention when I tell you to say, watch the injury report, and Kyler Murray and D-Hop don't play. Okay. Arizona's not good. All right. When you take those guys out. They did smack 49ers in the mouth, but the 49ers are just one of those Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde teams a couple weeks ago. So I know that Christopher Hanks, big shout out to him. He's our producer, Muffin Fingers. He's a baker. So we got to go through these picks relatively quickly because he has another final to do, which he has to put a cake in an oven. I don't know what he has to do, but he has to do some kind of baking. And
it's a fancy way for saying home ec, isn't it?
Yeah, and real men bake. And he's been triggered this week. He's been upset. So I just wanted to say, Chris, we appreciate you. I'll give you some positive reinforcement. We love what you do for us, and you're number 3 in my heart. Okay, not number 1 or 2, but 3. We'll give you 3.
That was 3.
Yeah. Now you got down a peg or 2 with your picks last week.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. But all right, let's go through these games.
All right, we got Detroit going into Cleveland. I hear they're minus Jared Goff. I know you would know this, but Cleveland's a minus 12.5 with a 42.5 over under.
Yeah, I like Cleveland in this game, but you never know. They are in 2 of my parlays with just money line, but I don't like the spread because Cleveland can just find ways to make games close, like a lot of other teams, and keep teams around. So Justin Lacey gets on there and says, "Hey, who did you pick Thursday?" Well, actually, for money, Justin, I did pick New England. Who wouldn't? But as far as our little fun pool, I picked Atlanta because you were betting against them. So I just picked them purely to talk trash. But everybody knows that I do not pick Atlanta. I hate Atlanta. All right. Atlanta has cost me money for years, so I don't even touch those games. Kind of the emotional bet that Bill said. So I got the Browns. Yeah. All right. Who we got?
Yeah, we got Baltimore heading into Chicago at 1:00. Chicago's a +6. With a 44.5 over under, +6 at home.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a new way that these guys do their bye weeks, but I've watched a few teams come off their bye week where traditionally they do very well. NFL teams after their bye week, but they've been losing. So it's almost like these coaches are being soft on them and they come back and just don't perform. So I like the Ravens here to come in and smack the Bears pretty hard because I think they're going to wake up and say, "Oh, we kind of laid an egg last week." Yeah, he did. So I'm gonna go Ravens. Take the points. Ravens -6.
All right, we got Green Bay is heading to Minnesota, and Minnesota's a +1 at home with a 47.
Yeah, I hate picking the Packers as a lock because I am a Green Bay fan, but I gotta go with the Packers as a lock here. Rodgers plays well there. I
think they got it clicking, man.
Yeah, he plays well there. The Packers are healthy except for Aaron Jones. That's why the spread's out. He's down. But A.J. Dillon, the butterball, he's coming after you. All right, and they can run 2 types of offenses, and that's what Matt LaFleur is good at. So I got Packers in a lock here.
All right, we got Houston heading to Tennessee. As soon as this pulls the spread up for them, Tennessee is a -10 and a 44.5 over under.
Yeah, -10, and I don't know. Like I'm going to bet this game money line in one of my bigger 8-teamers. But Titans, you're not an idiot if you take them -10. All right, but I'm just not. But yeah, I like Titans here.
All righty. I get caught up looking at these games, and we're already on the next one. We got Indy going into Buffalo. Now, Buffalo is a -7 with a 49.5 over under.
Yeah. The Colts, they blew it against the Titans 2 weeks ago, but then they came out and put the hammer down again. I still like the Colts. They are rolling right now. They're not necessarily winning, but they're clicking on offense and defense. And Jonathan Taylor is playing out of his mind from the University of Wisconsin. That being said, I'm going Bills -7.
We got Miami going into New York. New York's a +3.5 at home and a 44.5 over under.
All right. So I haven't picked the Jets to do anything all year. I'm going to call them in an upset here. I'm saying take the Jets money line over the Dolphins. Mm-hmm. Take
them money line, eh?
The Dolphins are getting healthier on defense, which is why this might be a dumb pick. But I had that gut feeling on the Jets, so I'm gonna put the Jets in my upset parlay this week. Remember, my upset parlays are all money line.
We've got I'm learning. Yeah. New Orleans going into Philly. Philly's -2.5 with a 42.5 over under.
Yeah, Philly's playing hot, man. They're starting to gel too. Getting their QB a little bit of he's getting a little more comfortable. So I like the Eagles here -2.5.
All righty, we got San Francisco going to Jacksonville. Jacksonville's +6.5 in a 45 over under.
6.5 on that, and Jacksonville is not playing bad. All right, the last couple of weeks they've played pretty well, so don't be surprised if they cover here. But I like 49ers money line. But it's a
Nick roll into the next game. I'm having I just lost battery.
Yeah, I do want to talk before about the Browns-Lions game again, though. This is just one of those games where the Lions, they're going to lose, but they're going to cover. Lions are the masters of covering. So the next game that I got is the Bengals going into the Raiders. All right. Here's another one that I'm putting in my upset parlay because the Raiders, man, they are talented. They did lose Henry Ruggs, which is a big deal because he killed somebody with a vehicle that the news isn't covering. So Henry Ruggs, he's gone. Doesn't matter. I like the Raiders here in my upset parlay. It's a pick'em game anyways, because gosh, who knows if the Bengals are going to show up. And then I think I missed the game in the earlier ones where you got the Washington football team going into Cam's Carolina Panthers. And the Panthers are a 3.5 point favorite. I don't know if Cam will start. They said they said he was probably going to. But with Christian McCaffrey and Cam in the backfield again, they're a tough team to bet against. They're already a tough team to bet against when they're in Carolina anyways. So I'm going to go Carolina with a lock here at -3.5.
Yeah, that's I like it, man. That place is going to be rocking. There was a lot of people. I was in Carolina when this happened. There was a lot of people that were butthurt about Cam leaving. I don't like the way they handled that. It seems like Cam's head's on his shoulders, and he really is going to come out and prove a point. And with McCaffrey there, and Robbie Anderson's a lightning bolt, man. He's a little guy, but him and Cam got a chemistry. I like Carolina there too.
Yeah, I like that. Like I said, they're one of my locks for sure.
All right, roll with it, buddy. Yeah.
All right, so then we got the game of the week, except for now Amari Cooper is out. You got the boys at the Chiefs. Now, again, the boys is why I still have money in my MyBookie account. All right. The Cowboys are every week I bet on them, and every week, except for one, I've won. So the Cowboys are the most underrated, hated team in the NFL. They are extremely talented on both sides of the ball. Their only problem is their head coach. He sucks, but his offense is real simple. And it's real easy to run when you have really big dudes and really athletic guys that are like all pros. But Amari Cooper, I don't know if you guys are watching him this year, but he is playing on a different freaking level. And he's just big, fast, and but he's out. So
reminds me of Julio Jones, man, another Alabama receiver that could just go out and dominate.
Yeah, and no matter if you try to take him away, then they got CeeDee Lamb, right? That another. So shocking what school he came from too. But I, after talking all that up, if I'm not going to bet on this game, I might bet the over, which is 56.5, but I can see this turning into a shootout. But the Chiefs, I'll circle a money line with Amari Cooper out and being in Kansas City. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna go on that one. And then I still got to keep going here. We got the Cardinals going into the Seahawks. Okay, now Seahawks, they looked really bad against Green Bay, but they usually always look really bad against Green Bay. I do like Russell Wilson back. Another week of practice, another week getting gelled up with DK Metcalf, who got kicked out of the game and tried to come running back in the huddle, but he was gone. I like the Seahawks in my 3-team. I got 3 upsets this week because the Seahawks are dogs by 1. I got Seahawks, Raiders, and Jets in an upset parlay. Take all 3 of those guys' money line and put $10 on it, and it's going to pay off pretty well. But I like the Hawks in that game, especially if Kyler Murray and D-Hop don't play. If they don't play, I think the Seahawks beat the piss out of them. And now they got the next game, which is the Steelers with Mason Rudolph over under 47, and the Chargers are a 6-point home favorite, and I like that game. I like the Chargers -6. I actually like them as my third lock for the parlays. And then Giants Monday night at the Buccaneers, and the Buccaneers are -11, and I think they come back. I don't think the Giants have the defense to put any pressure whatsoever on Tom Brady. So this is a good bounce back game for Tom Brady. Again, Tom Brady is one of the best leaders ever in the NFL. He knows how to run an offense. If the offense runs how it's supposed to, he doesn't lose. All right.
I believe Gronk's playing too.
Yeah. He doesn't turn the ball over. He doesn't, he'll turn it over when he's pressured. Because he's a big baby that way. But if he's standing in the pocket, you're in big trouble. All right, like really big trouble with him. Most NFL quarterbacks, you're in some kind of trouble, but with Tom Brady, you're in big trouble. Like it's about to
carve you up.
Yeah. So again, my locks this week are the Packers -1 at the Vikings, and then you got the Panthers -3.5 at home against Washington. And then I like the Chargers -6 in the Sunday night game as my lock parlay. And then my upset parlay, Hawks, Raiders, and Jets. Other than that, it was a pleasure hanging out with you guys. And then today we got retired Colonel Jimmy Blackman coming on. He's a helicopter pilot, or was a helicopter pilot. He sings country songs. He writes books. He's got all kinds of stuff going on. So we're excited to have him on the show. He's a motivational speaker and does a lot to help veterans. And we are super pumped to have him on today. And we'll be on at 1400 Eastern time on the Veteran Trash Talk Hour. And again, big shout out to our sponsors, Zach Farkas and the Veterans Mortgage Source, 10th Mountain Bourbon. All right. And make sure you go to pick up the swag. Quit being a triggered pansy. All right. We're going to talk about today, and always keep calm and lay suppressive fire if you're a machine gunner. All right. I got to wait for the artillery, the fister, to get up there with his radio because he's all fat now being at the Vardy. And so you got to lay down a lot of scunion until he gets up to the line and starts calling the boom boom now. But hey, Bill,
where's my fister?
Bill, I'll give you the last word unless you're going to come on the show today. You didn't come on last week.
Again, hey, I just want everybody to head over to Gold Star Dune Adventures. Donate any money that you can to those guys. They just finished up a hunting trip. I think they got a couple more coming up. All proceeds goes towards taking Gold Star kids out on various hunting trips, dive trips, whatever it is to get these kids out and spend time together. So again, Gold Star Teen Adventures, please head there, donate as much as you can.
Yeah, I know I said I'd give you the last word, but then Jeff Creighton, always in our prayers and hearts. Jeff Creighton. Jeff Creighton was a good friend of ours, and he served with us in the 82nd. He was a Marine prior to he saw the green side of the world and came over to the Army. But then he became a cop in Nashville and was hit by a guy drunk at 3:00 in the morning while he was talking to another car, and almost lost his life. And he's should go check his page out, Jeff Creighton. Go check it out and watch how he's recovered and all the stuff that he's doing. So in case you're having a bad day, watch how hard he's working to come back. But he says, I remember many trying to argue with Nick and Joe about football while in deployments. These two always knew what they were talking about and were usually right. That's annoying. So, again, if you talk to Bill and Joe about UFC or you get into us about sports gambling, we're probably going to beat you if you're just going off of a whim. I know Justin Lacey's watching. He's continually, I have to keep sending him my Venmo address every weekend because he's like, oh, this game is going to happen. I go, no, it's not. And then he sends me money. So that's usually how it goes. But hey,
that sounds nice.
Yeah. But hey, again, we'll see you guys. And Juan Garcia says that he got a hold of our homie on here that said he was hurting. So that's good. And again, go on our page, Veteran Trash Talk, and then go to our group, VTT Official. Use the code VTTGW at Gruntworks Clothing or shop.veterantrashtalk.com. Get yourself some swag. They're conversation starters. They're a lot of fun. People are going to ask you about it. You might meet some other veterans just by wearing this shirt, and then you guys can help each other out. So we'll see you at 1400 Eastern time. Baker, go put in something in the oven, whatever you got to do.